so it's weird. But again, you know, it goes up and down and up and down, you know, and then out of the blue, like ever since we started, like last year, like Dan and I have been pitching movies together for like about 10 years, and we've been pretty successful at it, but I never have really done it by myself. And last year I had a pitch with Fox, and they were already, like, the actors were fans of me. I worked with both of them, and like the woman that I was pitching to read a spec script that I wrote, loved it, said it was great, and so, you know, my manager says, okay, you know, this is like a done deal, so, you know, it's yours to lose, you know, go ahead and go in there. And I blew it. I blew it. I don't know what happened, but I don't know if I choked, but I couldn't do it, and it kind of fell apart. And I was like, man, I gotta learn how to do this on my own. And I was like, well, how do I do that? And I said, oh, well, you know, I'll go to Sam. And we've been working on it, and it's been really paying off.
Well, and here's a couple things I want to point about what Rob said. First, you know, when Rob came and said, you know, I need to learn how to pitch on my own. I'm used to doing it in teams. And of course, my professional side is, no problem, just what I work on, get started. But underneath I'm going, fuck. If Rob's having trouble, what am I going to tell him? You know, I mean, geez, he's, you know, he's got an Emmy. What am I going to say to him? But the truth is that every situation is different. I mean, even though Rob has had this build of success with that valley he talked about, and I'm sure some other ones along the way, there's this success still to go in with a done deal, fuck it up, and all of a sudden it's over, is as bad a failure as, you know, it's just higher stakes disappointment. That's all that, and that's going to be there. That's going to be there no matter what happens. The biggest movie star in the world can make a turd, and people are just looking at you like, what happened? And they, of course, act like your talent ran out your feet. And there are going to be these things up and down. The other thing that's important that I want to say, and this is really true in a way of all of you, and we've done programs in here about this. The thing that Rob was talking about, this making of shorts, actually turned into something a little larger and more famous than he gave credit for. It turned into this thing called Channel 101, which became the birthplace of a number of famous performers, writers, and creators, because not only did they create this place for their own shorts to show, but they said to their friends, well, you could do one, you know, you could do one, and pretty soon they're showing a bunch of it, and pretty soon a lot of people are getting acting, performing, and opportunities. But the real important part is that they kind of said, gee, how do you get a reel? You make shorts, and that moment that we all go, well, but you know, other people have got this or that, or they've got that, or they're ahead of me. Well, no, because a lot of people that were ahead of Rob are now behind Rob, and Rob is probably behind some people, you know. But Channel 101, like Karin talked about, well, so I read the thing, and all of a sudden I built this thing. Again, that's the voice. The voice that said, do a few shorts, became Channel 101, which became this platform not only for you but for others. And that little thing of, you know, it first exposed itself probably when you were a little kid, and you go, Mom, can I put on a show in the garage? And Mom went, oh, if you have to, you know, but you do. And that little show in the garage is Speaking of Stories, or Channel 101. It's just the bigger version. And that little part, that voice that comes up and says, you know, I could, what if I, you know? And the great thing is, there is YouTube now. There are these venues where you can literally put on some dumb shit thing, and it can catch, if it's got something in it, it can catch, and all of a sudden, you know, you have a little platform that attracts some people, and, you know, here comes an investor, or, you know, or you hand your tape to a friend that doesn't even really hear your tape, but they go, oh, voiceover, why not? Come in for this thing. And, you know, that little thing that allows you to act on stuff is
Because when we first started out 101, I remember there was a time where Dan and I were sitting and we were having a ball because you know what it's like. You shoot a pilot and it doesn't get picked up. It sits on the shelf and you never see it ever again. Or you shoot a film and it doesn't get distributed. You never see it again. But with us, we shot something. It goes online, and you know you're hearing like people in Ireland are going, "I really like that. That was great." And that was, I mean, now it's pretty common, but back then it was pretty awesome. It was like 2003, and Dan said, "Well, fun's fun, but eventually we're going to have to start thinking about how we're going to make a living." And I was like, "Well, what if we didn't? What if we just kept shooting these things until they kick us out of our apartment?" I mean, I don't believe it's going to happen. I don't believe it's going to happen. I don't think we're going to be. And if we are, I mean, I kind of love the idea of I became a street person, and there's like like a shopping cart full of mini DVDs, and people will be going, well, look at this loser. I said, I'm not a loser. I've been working my ass off. I think if you work enough on yourself and on your craft, good things will come. Like I said, it's luck is opportunity mixed with preparation. And, you know, like, I'll meet with somebody and they'll say, well, do you have anything with a blank in it? And I'll go, oh yeah, and here's a stack of DVDs, and I made them DVD animated menus too, and I hope you like them, and they freak out.
It's also, and this, you'll know I'm not demeaning it. A good deal of Rob's talent, not so much with words, but with visuals, has to do with toilet paper rolls, cardboard, and tinfoil. I mean, you know, it's stuff that when he was a little kid, they go, oh, you know, give him some paper, he'll play. But a good deal of his vision is made out of the, and the reason I'm pointing this out is a lot of times you think, oh, this thing I do is so stupid, or it's so minimal, or it's so not, you know, but literally that little dumb crap that you do is the seeds of real art, you know? And if somehow you didn't believe that out of toilet paper and cardboard and magic markers, I mean, essentially play toys,
is the stuff that you're the most embarrassed about too. Usually, I mean, like when I built the stuff, I mean, I wanted to make like these like photorealistic perfect things, but I just couldn't. You know, I didn't have it in me. But I didn't let that stop me, and I just kept plugging away until it looked kind of right, I guess. And I think you can apply that to your performing too. Everything that you're embarrassed about, just turn that up. Just crank it up, because the reason that you're embarrassed about it is because you don't see it in anybody else, and that's what we're looking for.
Yep. You know, it's that thing back in the hippie days that some of us date to. You know, they used to say, let your freak flag fly. You know, the very thing that everybody is pointing at you being weird is probably, you know, the thing that is the statement that lifts you above everybody else, because nobody else has either the inclination or the capacity to be that much of a statement. It continues to amaze me. You know, as I work with people all around the, you know, that thing, that, oh, in somebody else's hand that would be junk. In your hand, somehow, it turns to something amazing. Ryan, what do you have to kick into all of this?
Well, I don't know, I guess I'm struggling with why I was asked to get up here. But part of that is, I just want to go. That's what I'm embarrassed about. I feel like I'm up here because I called Sam a couple of days ago in a panic that I think we all have, but I was just like he was saying, I do improv, and I wrote Met TV for a couple of years with my writing partner.